Let the music play. This is E, the Not So Creative podcast. And this is going to be special. This is going to be a good one. I hope I ask questions that make sense. And I hope I bring my A game to this one, because if there's any A game right now, I'm about to be talked to the A game. Kind of give you guys an idea. I'm going to make a call and I'm going to do a little chat, maybe an interview with the one and only family, my cousin, Viviana. So shout out to you, which I'm about to call you in a couple moments. And then we're going to chat it up. And she's big. She's like a celebrity now. You know, I think I only have about maybe like 20 minutes, half an hour before my clock stops. And I just wanted to kind of get an idea. Part of the podcast that I'm doing is just to discuss things, mention things. And again, I always apologize if there's background noise, if there's dogs barking. I can't stop it because the owners just let them run like crazy and they make noise. So just in case, for all the dogs, right? It's for all the dogs? Yeah, for all the dogs out there. But yeah, part of my podcast is to do interviews and little things, and this is a good one. I'm looking forward to it because it's nothing better than admiring the work that my cousin has done with her company, which is ArtTour International. So, it's a great time at this point to discuss things and see what's next for her business and other things. So I'm going to do it right now, and I'm going to give a call and hopefully be able to get this ball up and running.
Hello.
Hey. All right. So I already got you. I'm recording already my podcast. So
Okay.
I'm gonna introduce you because this is I'm not here to play games.
Of course.
So I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna hopefully ask questions that make sense. And I didn't get a chance to do a lot of research, but I'll say I have to do I have to do a proper introduction though. So here it is, my introduction, and then you let me know how you think I did with the little small introduction. So first of all, this is the CEO of ArtTour International. I'm happy to say that she's part of the family, and this is my cousin. Not only that, I will say your name at the end. She is the CEO of ArtTour International. She has an Instagram page. She has Viviana Puello Art _. I didn't know you had 102,000 followers. Amazing. Also, she's
Thank
the
you.
author of You Are the Masterpiece, an artist's journey from homelessness to triumph.
Yep.
And this is Viviana Puello. So thank you for taking your time. I mean, you got to give family time sometimes, but, family doesn't always get along. And sometimes, cousins from other sides don't even want to do anything with you. So I'm happy that you gave me a little time. So here's the first thing I'm going to ask you. Oh, wait. One thing I forgot to say. And last year, she did her first New York Fashion Week runway show, showing off the beautiful jewelry, along with your partner in crime, Sveta Long, who I didn't know painted and hand painted the dresses.
Yep.
Okay. So thank you for being on the show. So the first thing I want to ask you, of course, aside from how you're doing, which I already know, but what is the goal for your business right now, for your company, ArtTour International?
Okay. So my business goal goes with my mission in life, which is to inspire people. And I'm devoted to creative minds. So artists, uh, creative entrepreneurs, writers, authors, designers, you name it. Anybody who has a creative mind. So what we do is we provide marketing and advertising services for them, and we have different platforms to do that. So we have an art magazine that comes out quarterly, and it comes out in print and digital, distributed at Barnes and Nobles. And then on digital format, it goes to about 150 digital newsstands, and it goes to 180 countries with over 2 million readers worldwide. And we also have online platforms like our YouTube channel. We're launching this year a TV channel dedicated to the arts. So that's what we do. We're devoted to artists, inspiring the artists, supporting them, and providing a voice for them to express themselves, share the message with the world without them feeling alone or that they have to do it alone.
That's amazing.
Did that answer the question?
You more than answered it. I probably, by the
Okay.
way, if I go out of order, I'm very sorry because,
It's
again,
okay.
there wasn't planning with this, but I usually like to unplanned things because I usually think that's the most authentic way to do it sometimes because planning it,
Yep.
we're always looking and worried about other things. So,
I
couple
love
little
that. Yeah.
couple little questions for you. So you said you're launching a TV channel. Is this going to be
Yep.
streaming? Is it going to be like with cable providers? Do you have any, have you what's the
Yep.
movement?
So basically, you can download the channel if you have Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Google Play. So if you have any of those, you can look for Vivid Arts Network and you can download it. It's gonna launch at the end of February. And if you are outside of the US or Canada, you can watch online at www.vividarsnetwork.tv. And we're going to have original content. So we're starting with an incredible series of original documentaries that are featuring visual artists. So the life of different visual artists, master artists of different countries, cultures. Incredible. So we're gonna have an exciting content. We're actually looking for producers. So if anyone that's listening is a producer and wants to showcase and have like content, they have a TV show they're creating, they can contact me. We can probably feature them.
What's I mean, if you wish, do you want to provide your contact information here in case?
Yeah, they can go to my Instagram, Viviana Puello art underscore, and just message me, and I'll get them in touch with my programming director, and then take it from there.
No, that sounds amazing. I didn't know. So this is
Yeah,
all new to me. Apple TV, Roku. You said Amazon TV also.
Amazon Fire. Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it's
and
actually
Google.
live right now. You can actually download it already. It's just that we're setting up the content. We've been working on this for 2 years.
Wow.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And it's
So
free access television, absolutely free access. So
so there's no like
people don't have to
subscription,
pay.
nothing as far as
Right.
that.
So right now we want to do it that way because we want people to get to know the channel.
Right.
So no commitments.
That's there's nothing to lose. That's a good thing.
Yep. Yep.
Put it out there, and then of course, producing and making shows is not easy because you're probably using your own funds from the
Yep.
company to produce that.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
and
A
this
lot of
all this
work.
all this is
Hmm.
you, right? All the shows so far are ones that you did,
Yeah, so we recorded everything. We so far, well, we have a lot of content from the past, like interviews. We've been working for a while, right, doing interviewing artists, and but the new original content, there are 10 documentaries. We did those. We traveled to different countries, different cities, and we recorded these people. We went to Germany, Canada, Italy, different cities in the US. We did something that I try to do something that would be as inclusive as possible, representing as many different cultures as possible. So I think it's gonna be fun. We have a premiere coming up on Saturday, February the 24th. You're invited VIP,
Awesome. I appreciate that.
so you have to make sure you reserve the date. And we're gonna be premiering the documentary. And yeah, it will be work, but it will be fun.
Now, I'm sure you have direct invitations. Are there open invitations for someone that is not, uh, in any way worked with you so far? Like where, maybe you have a guest that can maybe introduce them to this world
Like
within,
for what are we talking about? Like the premiere?
yeah, for the premiere.
We have a limited seating, but we do accept requests. So if anybody wants to go, they can message me,
Okay.
and then yeah, we have to send them a specific invite. It's very enclosed, but we can message me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask because you never know. Maybe there's two people
Yes.
listening. Maybe there's 1,000. Who knows? Maybe someone say, "Hey,
Yep.
I want to go to that," because you hear the word premiere and it's something
Yes.
new. It's exclusive.
It's pretty cool. It's exclusive. We're gonna have the stars of the shows are going to be present. The director is going to be there. I'm gonna be there. We'll be presenting them. The stories are super incredible. The title of the documentaries is Art Titans, Artists of the New Era. And it's my vision. It was a dream for many years, and I'm happy that it came through.
So to kind of go backwards a little bit, because this was one of the things I was trying to write down a little bit. The introduction was the only thing I wrote because I said, you know what? When I introduce my cousin, I have to at least let the world know how to find you, what you do, what you've
Yeah.
accomplished. So to go backwards a little bit, maybe a little far back, what
Mm-hmm.
was the motivation for you to start this business? Because at one point, I mean, we're family, we know each other. We've all gone through
Yeah.
struggles, we've all gone through our dark places, we've all had these
Yep.
moments in life that sometimes it doesn't seem like there's any hope and other things. So,
Mm-hmm.
what was the thing that motivated you to create this company as big as it is now?
Okay, so now I'm gonna do a little bit of advertising because you're gonna have to read my book. You are the masterpiece.
It's fine. That's what we're here
So,
for. That's what we're here for.
and it's an Amazon, by the way. You are the masterpiece, an artist journey from homelessness to triumph. Um, what motivated me? I have I went through, well, personally, right? I went through a lot of challenges, difficulties in my life. I went through abandonment when I was born, just
Hmm.
born by my mother. There was a lot of things that happened and created a pattern in me that was insecure and self-destructive and looking for maybe attracted to people that were not good for me. A lot of things happened, and I went like down the rabbit hole, and I had to wake up and at that point come out of there and realize that life is hard. Life is hard, but I had this passion for art, and that helped me come out. That motivated me to do things, to create things. And when I started discovering art as a career, I realized how incredible it was for people, for me, the healing source it was. And I wanted to share that with other people. And I really, in my mind at that moment, I never had the idea of having a business. I was an artist. I am an artist, And the business came organically, really. It was more of me trying to help other friends.
Mm,
And then that expanded and started growing. And it just grew to a level that I had to establish a business so that I could continue because it was too many.
mm,
So it really was organically. And then I had the idea of the magazine. And I'm like, the craziness in me always to the rebellious, right? Like, I'm gonna do this because I want to. So I use that for my company. I put that into action also on a positive note, on a positive way, and it worked. So here we are, 13 years later. Um, it hasn't, it has been up and down. It has
mm.
been a lot of a hard work. Sometimes people think that things are gonna happen overnight, but it really is continuous work. If you are going to start from zero like we did, right? If you have, I don't know, big funds, that's a different
Mm.
story. But we started from zero. So it's been up and down, making things happen, making sure that we keep going, making sure that we provide what's needed. But my motivation is always and continues to be helping other people, helping artists, creative, giving them the support they need because artists don't have that support most of the time. People, like, when you tell your parents that you want to be an engineer, they clap. If you want to be an architect, they clap. If you want to be a doctor, everybody claps. But not all families congratulate you when you say, I want to be an artist. I just want to be an artist. They take it as it's a less than career, but it's not really. I mean, there's so many things and so many ways that you can make a living as an artist. So that's the support that we want to give the artists, right? Like, let me help you not to struggle and end up homeless and end up, in the situations that I went through,
Mm.
because you do have someone, and here is somebody or a team of somebody's that can help you, so that you don't have to do that. You don't have to go through all that. I already did it. So why should you do it? And so I share my experience.
Right. You
I
don't.
share a
Right.
lot of
Right.
things.
You don't want to.
Yeah, I share that.
You don't
Yeah.
want the people to go. Well, I know what you mean. The struggles you went through. It's
Yep.
like, you don't want to see others go through that, the struggle as far as
Right.
that's concerned. So that's the avenue, which is a good thing because it is a positive thing. I mean, there's always a positive and negative in a lot of things. I'm a big believer in it. I've gone through my struggles. Well, you already know that with the whole personal part. We don't go into that over here, but at the same time,
Yep.
there's always, I believe that there is, whether it's one person, whether it's two, whether it's, I always believe it always takes one person that can change things sometimes from your surrounding. Could be
Yes.
family, could
Yes.
be, friend, someone that doesn't tear you down. Like, something bad happens and, hey, I mean, I'll say it. When I got divorced, a lot of people were like, "Well, we told you about that," and it was like, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, hey, you know
Right.
what? I want to hear, like, hey, we support you, man. Don't worry about it. No matter what happens, no matter how you feel, let us know. We'll help you out. So for me,
Right.
so I understand what you mean by that because you need a support system. Now I'm gonna say one thing though. When I went to your, well, I'll say after the award show because work
Mm-hmm.
obligations.
Yeah.
There was an artist I met, and I was talking to some other artists there. If I remember, because my
Mm-hmm.
my memory's selective, he was from Colorado. He said that he
Right.
did paintings for NFL athletes. He did he's done things
Mm-hmm.
for other, and he mentioned like, hey, if it wasn't for her, for Viviana, your cousin, you know, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at. So I'm very, he was very happy. But I can't remember his name. But it was right in Times
Yeah.
Square when we were looking at the billboard on Times Square, and he was there with his family. I think it was with his sons, his wife, and
Howard.
okay, so there you go. So shout out to
Yeah.
Howard. Uh,
All right.
but I remember him saying that because we were talking. He mentioned it to me, and we were getting to know each other a little bit. And he
Yeah.
mentions like, yeah, if it wasn't for her, she has set up. this network for us to be able to showcase, the work that we do.
Yeah,
It's a great platform. It's helped many, many, many artists. So
many people,
yeah,
thousands of artists. Yeah, sometimes I think you create things and they take their. It's like, for me, I feel like the platform took a life of its own. It's an own entity, right? And we just do the work. I'm just happy that I'm able to help. Really, a little, like, honestly, genuinely happy that I'm able to do that. Um, the artists are incredible.
no, it's a
They also are the support. They also sustain that platform. Their contributions make the platform keep going. So it is a gift. It's mutual here, but they understand it, and we have grown thanks to that, and we're able to elevate them even more. The more it grows, the more it reaches, the better it is, right?
right.
So it's like, if we can get to 100,000 people, 300,000 people, that's amazing. That's incredible.
No,
Yeah.
and I know what you meant also when you said, the family doesn't clap when you say an artist, because usually
Yep.
they don't look at it as, unfortunately, in society, in a lot of families, whether no matter where it's at, a lot of us look at money as the main
Yep.
source of everything. But we don't always
Yep.
think about the work that it's really more the work that you do and maybe the discipline that can build that money up, because you could be someone who doesn't make a lot of money, but if you have a discipline to know what your money is
Right.
good for spending, you have one to save, you have one to invest, that person may
Right.
end up being better than the one who makes all the money, spends it, does partying, all those other things. So I know what you mean, because a lot of families was like, well, no, why can't you be a developer, or, the doctor, or whatever it is,
Right.
because they think, oh, a couple $100,000. But many times, I listen to a lot of music. So a lot of music, sometimes even in hip hop, there'll be guys that'll say, hey, I invested in this art piece. This art piece was 2 million one year. Now it's worth 4 million at this time. So there's a lot of little things, that the little pieces that we don't know about, that even sometimes through music they educate people, and they say, hey, you know what, there's is not just this, you could do also this and invest in that, and chances are, if you hold on to it, take care of it, and then you do that, you can make more money than you actually think. You can't put the label of one thing being just your income, because there's other ways to make income.
Right. Exactly. That's where education comes. That's where, like, my coaching comes. I do a lot of coaching. We try to guide the artist as much as we can. An artist needs multiple sources of income, and that's a good point. But
Right.
yeah, but going back to money is not the ultimate source of joy and
Yeah.
fulfillment in life. It's the other way around. It's when you are happy and fulfilling that you attract abundance to your life. And abundance can come in many ways. You can enjoy abundance in health, in happiness, in, I don't know, satisfaction, in so many different ways. You know.
Yeah, because
Um,
we're focused on the good stuff, when whether
right.
because hey, when I by the way, in case when whoever listens to this, I don't mean that partying is a bad thing. Is that sometimes we party, and then I've had friends that have gone partying, and they'll spend money in a bottle, because I used to do security at a bar, and they would spend a
Right.
couple $100 in the bottle, and then that week they're like, hey, I don't have any money, I'm broke, and I'm not labeling them, like, hey, you could have just, you didn't have to drink over there. You could have just, had whatever, still had fun if you want to have fun. You don't need that to be the icebreaker all the time.
Right.
So, because
Right.
that's the part where, hey, because then what happened, that feeling that they have is detracting them from other things, because now they may have felt good at that moment, but that moment was a short-lived moment. So when you look at the long term, what happens is that they don't attract the other stuff. If they look at it as, oh, you know what? Because the moment does I believe that. The moment that you have, if you keep, even if it's not all positive, if you have more positive versus negative, you're going to bring a little
Yeah.
bit more positive, whether it's work, whatever it is. So I completely agree. I hope that,
Absolutely.
anybody who listens buys this book. I was supposed to get a
Yes,
book. My mother has the book. She's over there with my mom right now. So my
she
mom has the book.
does.
Right.
And she read it.
So the other thing too, because going back, when you did the runway show, what
Hmm.
when did that idea come to do the, because that to me was very interesting. And then once I read little pieces here and there about it, my mother would tell me, oh, she's doing this over here. She's learning how to do this. She's doing this. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's just,
Yeah.
so then when did that idea start that you want to do a runway show? And was it only for the jewelry, or was it the partnership where you also wanted to show the fashion part? Because there's a lot of
Hmm.
overlooking when people say, hey, fashion meets art, and they use art that's being
Right.
used, but then it's because the name of the brand is attached to it. People are like,
Right.
oh, that's a great thing. But I don't,
Yeah.
not to knock them off. It's just what I saw, what you did was, to me, was really that, because I know that you and Zveta are artists, like firsthand, from
Right.
the clothes
Right.
to your work. And by the way, I will say this very quickly. You may laugh, you may not remember. Back in the day when I was growing up in Manhattan, and I lived with my
Hmm.
grandparents in this, the big apartment, I remember there was a painting. I can't remember the color. I think it might have been like blue purple, but it was diamonds. Do you remember painting that? That was your painting. And I think I asked my mom, I was like, hey, mom, I was like, what is that? Like, that looks pretty cool. That was your painting. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, I do.
I was like probably like 6 or 7 at that time, but it
Yeah.
was, it
Yeah.
was hanging right in the middle of the room.
Yeah. I do. I do remember.
Okay. Okay.
But going back to the runway show, um, really, one of my passions and one of the causes for ArtTour International. ArtTour International was a sponsor for that, right? So one of our causes is environmental conservation. So I wanted to, last year, we started with the theme of sacred waters. And I'm passionate about the oceans because I'm from the ocean, right?
Mm,
I'm from the Caribbean. So I wanted to do something for it big, like big, and attract a lot of attention. And Sveta has been doing a lot of hand painted clothing with ocean theme. So she has sirens and she has like the seahorse and all that. And I, on the other hand, started doing my jewelry also,
mm,
inspired on the ocean. And the opportunity came. Someone called me, and I showed them my jewelry, and they invited me. And because I know what Sveta was doing, I told them that I wanted to promote Sveta's work too. And so we submitted that as Art to International, uh, showcasing two artists, right? And designers, artists slash designers. And that's what we do it as a partnership. And it was a good idea. I think I would love to do that again with different artists, other artists showcasing their work, because artists are very creative, and I think it's time for them to be acknowledged when it comes to, you know, creating fashion as well.
right.
There's a lot of, well, there's a lot of designers now, if you can see it, right? Creating pieces that are made by artists. So that was quite something. I had a great experience. It was phenomenal. I can't even describe it. It was beautiful, but it was sacred waters. So I have my jewelry now. My devoted for that, dedicated to that sacred waters. So
Now,
that was the name of. Mm,
I'm sorry. I know you're busy, so I'm gonna maybe If you want like 5 more minutes, I'll ask you a couple more questions, and then I
Okay.
know you have to go because I don't want to hold you up either from your busy schedule. So
Okay.
with
You?
the jewelry,
Yeah.
what is your plan with the jewelry that you displayed? There's like a two-part question. That's one. That's the first question. Like, do you
Okay.
plan on, having it in a platform that you sell it? Is it going to be something that you're going to keep for yourself because
Yep.
it's the first one that you did and it's, close to your heart because you did it?
No, no, it's for sale actually, and we're developing the Viviana Puello jewelry platform, and we're going to be selling the Sacred Waters collection this year.
Okay.
Everything that was shown there, and actually, part of 25% of the profits are going to Create for Peace, which is my, like, if I continue to talk and tell you everything I do, is going to my nonprofit organization that I'm the, that we provide supplies for children's schools here in Colombia, in Cartagena. So that jewelry started here in Cartagena. So I want the profits to help also here. So a lot of the jewelry when it's created, a lot of the artisans help me here when I do it. So I want to bring that here and provide work for them. So yeah, I will definitely be an exciting launch in 2024.
That's
I
awesome.
just got I got a little delayed because right after the fashion week I got sick, with COVID, so I had to kind of put a stop to everything. But now I'm back.
You're back and you're
And
back.
yeah, so I'm gonna launch that this year definitely.
And I think
Um,
that's a cool thing. When
yeah,
there's that saying that home is where the heart is. So you definitely
yeah,
have put your heart, back from where you grew up, and in a way, hopefully
yeah,
improving and motivating, younger people's lives and
yes,
giving them something aside from, Colombia. I never grew up in Colombia. I used to go there for summers and when I was
hmm,
younger, and we all, it's a lot better now, but there's still those areas that have a lot of struggle where it's, you know,
yep.
it's,
There's need, yep,
yeah, they need a lot. They need a lot. It's, sometimes, we see the good and, even from the food carts, there's a lot of good stuff out there. It's just, there's a hustle over there, but it's a little different than the hustle over here, versus
yeah,
it's just more like over there. It's more like, we need it here too. But until we
hmm,
go step in a different country where the needs are different also, and they really, really are providing for their families because their struggle is beyond what we can imagine.
yeah,
I remember when I went there 10 years ago, I met a guy at I think it was the Adidas store in the mall. And I asked him, I was like, hey, I'm curious. And I was like, you speak English so well. And, he knew English and everything. And I asked him, I was like, hey, how much, not to get in your business, but how is the pay over here? And he said that he used to live in New York and he was making at that time $12 an hour. And
yeah,
check this out. So then when he told me what he was making over there, but he was making, of course, in the Colombian pesos, it was
right,
about close to like a dollar, maybe $1.50, $2 an hour. I
yes,
almost,
yeah,
I almost, well, at that time, I don't remember. I don't think I had a lot of more hair than I do now, but whatever. I was like, are you serious? And I was like, but wait, why'd you move from New York? New York, you can make money. And he was like, it was too demanding for me. It was not the lifestyle I wanted. I wanted to work, but at the same time, I wanted to enjoy my life. So I came back over here, and I was like, again, not judging. I was like, hey, for the $1.50, and he was like, yeah, because I could still live and still make it over here based off that money. I was in shock
right,
because I didn't understand it because again, I'm only on this side of the world where I grew up in, where I was, seeing
mm,
everything and used to that. So I've never been on the other side where the currency is different. So, you
yeah,
know, commend you on that because it's
mm,
aside from just settling and doing it and being happy, which is you know,
Mm-hmm.
not to hold you up, but a lot of the family that we have over there from this side, from ours,
Yeah.
from my mother's side of the family, your side of the family, a lot of them don't leave. Have you noticed that? They don't come.
Yep. Yep.
They don't leave the country at all. They're happy. That's
No,
one of
no.
the things I've never understood, and it's not knocking them because there's a lot of great things to do. Is just
Yeah.
it just says a lot about, even though the things may not be as great, in some way they're happy with their lives, that they don't have to leave where they're at, because everything, there's still a lot to do, but at the same time though, they're able to live,
Mm-hmm.
which is very important.
The thing is, the thing is that they're, it maybe for you or someone from out from the US doesn't understand is the family values here are different and there's a lot of support. So, they're closer. So they help one another. And that's how people are able to make it. It's the same in Italy. So people are able to make it because people are there for one another, a lot of them. I'm not saying it doesn't happen over there. I'm not saying it happens all the time here, but it's more of a cultural thing of, I'm here for you, or if you need, don't move out, even if you got married, stay here.
Yeah, if there's a
And
sense
that
of community, that's basically it.
those things happen. So there's that net, that close net, and people are able to survive even in the most difficult times because they have, even if they don't have the family, they have the best friends, they have their friends, their neighbors. They have that strong community supporting them. So yeah, who wants to leave that, right? It's like we don't get that. There's a lot of loneliness when it comes to, especially in New York, right? When you're
You're talking to
working
the
and
president. You're talking to the CEO of loneliness right now. This is
yeah,
me. This is how it is
it,
over here. And I
it is.
I was telling my mom the
It's
other day, I was like, I don't know how I'm doing it. I don't know how I do it. And I was like, there's nothing you can do to change it. And and that was not a bad thing. And I said, my mom was like, you gotta love yourself. And I was like, Mom, if I didn't love myself,
yeah,
things wouldn't be. You wouldn't be talking to me. I was like,
I know.
there's a drive in me that says I have a lot of work to do. There's things I still want to accomplish on my own, whether it's alone.
Right.
I still have my closest friend to me, who's Bryant.
Yeah.
When I go through my moments, I call him, and if not, I'll watch a movie, I'll read a book, and I start writing the things down that I want to accomplish. Whether my
It
friends are
is
there
tough.
with me, whether they're without me, I figure a way how to do that. I do my workouts, and that all those things help me out. That's when I start to think of that creative. That's why creativity is very important. Because
That's what art is good, because even if you're alone, you can get yourself lost in there and just, forget that for a moment. It,
exactly.
it, it really gives you a drive to do things, and it brings you out also
And
to like minded people,
and a
Yeah.
couple of not to hold you up any longer, a couple of closing thoughts. With the and continuing what you're saying, art takes the mind off of it, but many times
Yep.
is the work attached to the art, because the art sometimes, we could draw things and we can probably do it that night, but painting and other types, it could take sometimes days, months. You vision it, you stop for a moment, you let it go,
Yeah.
and then you go back again, then maybe your idea changes. So usually when you put more work into it, you admire it a lot more, because then it's like, wow, this took me, you have no idea how long this one took me. And then you want people to see it, and then they acknowledge it and then admire and say, wow, this is beautiful. And then he's like, yeah, that took me 7 months to do, or whatever the case was, from the imagination you have to what you put out there. And that goes with anything. So I'm not
Yeah.
gonna hold you up. I know, it was a 30-minute time limit. I think I broke the record, because luckily my little device here gives me a time of how long I've been doing it. So I'm very grateful. And shout out to my mom, because my mom is the one who put this together. I asked my mom, I was like, hey, can you ask her, because she's over there. I know she's busy and I don't want to interrupt her. I'm working and it's free time. And amazingly, there's no noise behind me today, because apparently whoever, the roommates here, their dogs haven't run
Mhm.
around yet. So in closing this, first of all, I want to thank you for this. I know you're going to listen to it, and I
I
appreciate the
will.
time. And again, I'm going to go back to it. They could find you in Instagram, Viviana Puello art underscore. I need to say it
Yep.
again. She has 102,000 followers. You know, Kim Kardashian has to
Thank
watch out at some
you.
point, then they get to the millions. Then you have the
Thank
book, Your Art, The Masterpiece, An Artist's Journey from Homelessness to Triumph. And
Yeah.
then, of course, you have the Art Tour International. She did her fashion
Yeah.
show. I hope she does another one. And it sounds like
Yes.
it's in the plan. It's about collaborating with different artists, which I agree with you.
Yes.
I love fashion. So, as far as
Yeah.
that's limitless. There's so many out there that are not even discovered. Even young, like high school kids. There's a lot of things now. You see kids
Yeah.
that do things, that create things. Did I forget anything else? Anything else?
No, the premieres coming up, but tune in to Vivir's Network that TV, or download the Vivir's Network channel in February. I'll send you a reminder. Maybe you do some advertising for me in your next.
I could always do it. It's
But,
okay. I mean, you're family, so it's no
yeah,
big deal for me. Just give me the thing. I'll read it
but,
over here, and then hopefully
but
it gets out there to a lot of ears out there. And then, through me,
uh,
for me, I like doing this. Of course, there is, as anything else, as any business, there is a little business savvy into it too. It's
right,
additional things, but I do like doing this when I get the chance to do it. And I hope and I appreciate because, I think technically you're my real first interview because no shot at
that's on.
Bryant because Bryant was more of a chat actually. We're just really good friends and we had nothing else to do but just chat and BS the whole time. So you're my
Oh,
real first interview. So I really appreciate that. I have to
thank
probably
you.
I have to get my mom at some point, right? I have to tell her. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, thank you. I love you. Can I say I love you?
Of course. No, I love you too. I appreciate it. Honestly, you're an inspiration to me because, when things get, I know the story because I
Yeah.
saw it. I remember a lot. And, at sometimes I'll joke around with him like, hey, remember those days? And I was like, wow, a lot of things have
Yeah.
changed, but for the better,
Yep.
so I'm,
Yep.
I'm so happy
Yep.
about
Yep.
that. All right. So
Yep.
thank you. I really appreciate it. I love you for doing this.
Thank
And
you.
you did 40 minutes. And I know you're probably going to sit down and say, what did I just do with this guy? No. No, thank you again.
Always.
Please go to her Instagram page. You heard it before. I'll, I already said it before. She said it. Buy the book in Amazon, the ones that we
Yep.
mentioned, and also hopefully buy the jewelry. It's very nice, actually. Thank
Yes.
you for
All the links
listening.
on Instagram. So yeah, go, go, go.
All right. Thank you for it again. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.